Mom, can you tell me the story of when Snowball pushed your cat out the window?
Okay. So, Snowball was a beautiful silver Abyssinian cat that my parents got shortly before my older brother Brian was born. They lived just outside the city at that time, and Snowball was an indoor and outdoor cat, and very quickly built a reputation for being able to hold his own among wild raccoons and to take care of the various creatures that tried to attack the garden. And he would bring their lifeless bodies to my mother's bedside. And then Brian was born, and Snowball could handle it, sort of. He was a little jealous, but he accepted my brother as part of his family. Then 2 years later, I was born, and Snowball was not interested in having me around at all. He was not nice to me. I was scared of him. He sometimes made me nervous to go to sleep at night. We moved to the city full time, and Snowball didn't like being removed from the wilderness. So, he put on and had an attitude, kind of an aggressive attitude toward me. When I was 6 years old, my mom thought it'd be a good idea for me to get my own cat, and we decided to go to the ASPCA and rescue a cat from the ASPCA. I picked a Siamese kitten, and I named him Curry. And I brought Curry home, and I was in love. Curry was like the best cat ever. We played together all the time. Snowball did not like Curry and would regularly attack him and push him into corners. And it was hard for me to watch Curry being attacked by this much larger, much stronger cat, but my parents assured me this was part of cat life and no big deal. We would regularly go out of the city on the weekends, and one weekend we left, summer weekend we left, and we left the window cracked, because even though we lived 23 stories up in the air, we noticed that Curry liked to go out on the window ledge and walk back and forth on the window ledge. It made us nervous, but it made Curry calm, so we let Curry do this. And when we came back, the doorman of the building pulled my mother aside and started whispering something to her. I ran upstairs to see where Curry was, and we saw Snowball kind of sitting in the corner with a weird smile on his face. And I couldn't find Curry, and I got so scared. And then my mom came upstairs and told me that Curry had fallen out the window, or in my opinion was pushed out the window by Snowball, fell 23 stories to his death, and was somehow still alive for a moment when he landed, but then died. And I cried for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I hated Snowball. Like, I just hated Snowball. And my parents said, "You got to make peace with Snowball." And I said, "No, I hate him, I hate him." And then I was sitting at the dinner table and eating a piece of pork tenderloin from the Chinese restaurant, and Snowball jumped up in the air and grabbed the pork tenderloin out of my hand and scratched me down my thigh. And I thought, like, I'm next. Like, Snowball's coming to get me next. Like, I was so scared of this cat. Then a couple more years passed, and Snowball started getting kind of sickly, because he was pretty old at this point. And it turned out he had diabetes, and my parents had to force feed him pills and give him shots so that he could continue living. And one day my parents decided that maybe it would be better to let Snowball, go and live with the stars and watch us from above. And so we took Snowball to the vet, and everyone was so sad. And I couldn't understand why everyone was so sad, because I thought Snowball was a real jerk. And he was mean to me, and he had killed my beloved Curry, and scratched my leg and so on. And so my mom was hugging him and kissing him, and then left, and my dad was hugging him and kissing him, and then left, and my brother was hugging and kissing him, and then left, and my parents said, "Do you want to hug and kiss him?" And I said, "No, I hate him." And then I felt bad. So I said, "Yeah, give me a moment alone with Snowball." I never wanted a moment alone with Snowball. I was in this bright vet's office, and Snowball was on one side on the bed, and he was like old and weak and could barely even like sit up. And I was on the all the way other side of the room just looking at him. And he started like trying to get up, and I still thought maybe he was gonna like jump on me and scratch my face or something. And then I said, listen, Snowball, I know we've had our differences, and I know that you probably never liked me, and I know that you probably pushed my cat out the window, but I can see that you're suffering, and I just want us to go in peace, and I guess I love you in my own way. And Snowball turned his head, and he looked at me, and he said,